Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Joe's Place. Well, we're on the road again, and today we're at the Arts Center in Southbridge for a very special celebration, A Taste of Italy. And we're going to be strolling down to the Arts Center and getting an opportunity to meet some of the people here, some of the The Arts Center in Southbridge, Massachusetts, and it's the home of the Gateway Players, and today it's the home of a very special celebration called A Taste of Italy. This very special event has drawn several hundred people so far today. It's a beautiful, picture-perfect day. There's a beautiful sun shining overhead. There's a lot of families here, mothers with strollers, and it's just a real happy day. So we're very happy you could join us. We're coming up on the Taste of Italy station here, and we want to talk a little bit about the passports. In order to gain entrance to the grounds today, you're going to need a passport. And you can see this young lady is getting a passport to allow her to enter. And also a little Italian flag that goes along with it, too. Okay, let's move inside and see what's going on here at A Taste of Italy.
Great day. This is a great day today. We're trying to keep the community together, and all the Italians and the surrounding, everyone, not just for the Italians, for everyone, to start along for the next few years to get all together. Good for the community. That's what we're looking for.
Is everybody...
I'm from the Italian club.
Is everybody Italian today?
Everybody's Italian today. These are the flags. But this party is for everyone, the community.
Okay, so let's go inside and check in. Thank you very much, Sal. We appreciate it. Okay, to the left here. Okay. What are we giving out today?
Buongiorno. Piacere. Avanti, avanti. Buon divertimento.
Okay, he's telling us that he's welcoming us to today's festivities. He says it's a beautiful day and it's a beautiful celebration. Okay, let's move along down here, huh? Okay, well, we're going to move down here, and this is Rudy DiGregorio, who is the owner of Rudy's and Sons Winery. And we're going to see if we can get Rudy to come forward a minute here. Rudy, we're going to talk a little bit about the program the other night at the Italian Festival. Can we talk a little bit about when you came over to this country? You came through Ellis Island.
Yes.
And what year was that?
1960, December 22nd.
December 22nd.
Yeah.
Have you been back to Italy since? Many times.
We've been back many times. We go about 2-3 times a year. Depend on what the wine is, the season. Sometimes we go to Verona in April. We check the wine. Sometimes we go back in September when we pick the grape.
I see. Now, you've had several businesses since you've come here, and this is your latest, your wine business. And how are things going? You've got a new business on Worcester Street?
Yes, correct. 505 Worcester Street. We just bought the place, and then we moved all the warehouse up there now. And we started actually we'll be starting up on next Monday.
I see. And when you talked about coming to America from Ellis Island, what was it like as a young boy when you came here? You were young at the time. How old were you?
I was 28 years old.
28 years old.
And like I say, the worst part when the immigrant come in this country, it will be the language, because as you know, talk is a problem.
Right.
But like I say, I come over, work for Filene, my uncle Filene, for 3-4 years. Then I went back to construction. I went to construction of Jack Shield, and there was some more money there. And then in '66, I started a business.
Right. Now, Fileno DiGregorio, who was the president of United Lens Company,
yes, correct.
Was your uncle?
Yes, correct.
Right,
my father brother, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, the new business is going fine, and today this is quite a celebration.
Yes, it's very nice. I mean, at least for the time, we'll make them know everybody we here.
Okay.
We'll do the best we can.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Rudy. We just talked with Rudy DiGregorio, and he is the owner of Rudy and Sons Winery, and also part of the Italian Club display, as you can see here. On display today here at the Taste of Italy are a number of old photographs, many of them from old Italian families, and we're going to get a look at some of them in a minute. But in a special interest is this photograph of 6 of the Italian-American war heroes of Southbridge who lost their lives during World War II. Donato Dinavelli, Leroy Quattroselli, Dominic DiPaolo, Carlo Pellicci, Mario Rizzoli, and this is a memorial to those Italian-American war veterans who lost their lives in the service of their country. Also, we're looking, the large frame picture at the top is a picture of Lieutenant Vincent Sabatinelli, an outstanding Army officer who was killed in the Vietnam War, and for whom the Vincent Sabatinelli Football Award is in memory of on Thanksgiving Day. Let's move down here to some of the photographs that we see on the table. As you can see, there are a number of photographs. And the Italian-American families of Southbridge were asked to provide photographs of their families to put on display here today. Of course, it would take a couple of historians to go through every one of them and pick out everybody who was in the picture, but there are a number of great pictures here today, and many of these are second and third generation pictures. Many of them contain photographs of people who immigrated here to the United States, and to Southbridge in particular, from various parts of Italy and Sicily. We're coming away from the Art Center in Southbridge for this special Taste of Italy celebration, and as you can see, some great memorabilia here. Don't worry about a thing. You're an old veteran at this. Okay, we're talking to Helen Linty, the town clerk of Southbridge, whose parents immigrated here to Southbridge, and she's a very important part of today's celebration because she's in charge of the memorabilia, I guess you'd call it.
Well,
so Helen,
can we did this table? All
Can
of
you-
us from the Men's Association did this table.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Can we talk about some
Yes.
of the things here? What
Yes.
is this you're holding in your hand?
This is a symbol of ancient pagan Rome. This is called the Bocca in Verita, which means the mouth of truth. And I have seen this in a basilica in pagan Rome, and it's a huge bronze piece on the wall of the church. And the story goes that if you came before the judge for a trial and you put your arm into the mouth, if your arm was bitten off, it meant you were not telling the truth. So I put my arm in, and I have my 2 arms, so obviously I'm a truthful person. So this is called the mouth of truth, and the real thing is about 10 feet in diameter. It's quite impressive.
Right. How about talking about some of the other items? What about this here?
This, of course, is the mortar and pestle that you use for grinding medicines, herbs, and you made medicines. And this is a pharmacist item, really. The pharmacists use this.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, you also could use it at home for grinding garlic or anything like that.
Okay, how about something else? What else do we have here?
Well, this is a miniature version of the type of an iron they had. This is very small because it's just a souvenir item, but coals were placed into here and it was covered. This was covered with some kind of cloth, and you ironed your clothes with this. Hello, Mrs. Langevin. That's what this is. This is very interesting. This and this. This is a town near where my husband comes from in Italy. It's called Alberobello. It's actually a very ancient area, very different. The homes are made like this. you feel as if you really stepped back into medieval times. And it's worth seeing if you ever go to the south of Italy. It's a very unusual place. These houses are just beautiful and very unique. It's called Alberobello.
Okay, we're looking at some of the articles and some of the artifacts from Italy. And Helen, what about the dolls here? Those are very, very beautiful. And you know, I seem to recollect that I saw this before the other night at the Art Center. This is a smaller version of the vases that they used to carry on their heads. Huh?
These are Abruzzi dolls. This is the typical dress of the women of the Abruzzi region of Italy. And this woman is carrying the conca, which was used for water. And my mother brought these from her hometown.
Really? Come right in here and stand right next to Helen.
No.
Can we talk a little bit about those? You remember
Joe?
those? I'm Joe.
I
Yes.
gotta talk to you. You know the night at the hall there?
You're on the air.
You're on television right now.
Oh no.
Yes. Can we talk a little bit about those? You well remember those costumes, don't you?
Sure. Well,
Did
no,
you ever
I
wear
was
one
7
yourself?
years old. No. I was only 7 years old. When I came in 1912, Joe,
Yes.
it was... President Wilson. I don't remember if it was his first term or second term.
Right.
So we came in about the week after election. So it's kind of it's interesting. That was an important year.
Right. Can you turn and look at the camera right here? Can you tell me about Ellis Island when you came over? Do you remember?
Oh, no, we came to Boston.
Oh, you came through Boston.
Came to
You know
Boston.
how long it took you to get from Italy over here?
11 days.
11
and I was
days.
sick all the while.
That sounds a lot like my mother.
All the while I was there.
It took my mother something like 21 days, and she was sick too, right?
Yeah, about 11 days. And then this woman that lived near the Arbor, they called her Mama Rosa. Because I don't know
yes.
if it was her name or if she was big.
Yes.
And they should take people that come into the boat with children, anybody.
sure.
Take them at home with her. She had a big house. And they used to shoot to give them a nice supper. And we go to bed the next morning. Well, we came to Southbridge. She had was Frankfurt and beans.
Right.
We didn't have that. She had a big pan full of Frankfurt, all cut up in small pieces, with potatoes or onions.
And you never had anything like that in Italy?
No. Salchicha, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, am I going to be on television? Oh no.
Well, we're
So
very
can
happy.
I tell you, 'cause the year 1912 was a historical year.
Yes, it
The
was.
Titanic went down in April.
And Woodrow Wilson was elected
I don't
president.
know if he was
that year?
elected first
Or
term or
re-elected,
second.
maybe.
I
Yes.
think re-elected.
Yes, right.
Oh my
Well, thank you for joining
Oh
us
my
today.
God, I
huh?
don't want to be on television.
Oh, she doesn't want to be on television.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't like fanfare.
You did very good today. Okay, we're at a Taste of Italy celebration. You wa- Yes. Want to be on television, Nancy? Where's your husband today?
He's in line.
Oh, he is? Oh. Well, we'll catch him a little bit later. As
We're going to
We're
be
gonna-
Italian today.
going to be Italian today. That's good. Good. Okay. Okay, we're talking with John Riccitelli, and John immigrated here as a very, very young boy and spent his entire life in Southbridge. And John, you've had quite a career from yourself. You started out as a young boy coming here, not speaking a word of English, and you rose to become one of the most outstanding industrial people in town. You were the vice president of finance, if I'm not mistaken, at American Optical Company.
That's right.
Made quite a career for yourself. How about going back to those early days when you first came over? You were how old at the time?
I was 26 months old, 2 years, and I lived in Little Italy. And
Where was Little Italy?
down
Little
in Sandersdale.
Sandersdale. Right?
Yeah, where the D&D welding and that group is down there. And I went to the same school as a youngster for the first 3 grades of my life. I do remember going into the first grade, strange as it may seem, because I couldn't speak English. We didn't have anybody then that, you could use Italian as another language in school. You went and you learned English, which happened to be a good thing for all of us.
Right. You told me that for the first several years you struggled in school, and it wasn't until the 6th or 7th grade that you really started to perk up. Huh?
I struggled because,
know the
I
language,
didn't know
right?
any English at all.
Is this common for a lot of other young boys
Oh,
and girls? huh?
yeah. I think most of us that started grew up either in the flat or Little Italy down in Sandersdale. We had our ethnic area. And it took some time before you got absorbed into the community. I was lucky in many, many ways because, you know, even if I brag a little bit, I was
Sure.
a pretty good athlete.
Yes,
and,
I know you were. I know you were.
You know, and therefore I played with unheard of, but it was fine. It was a great.
Well, I think that was a
area.
great thing about you. You never lost the touch with all of your people and all the people you grew up with and all the ethnic background. You stayed with the Italian Americans most of
Oh,
your
yeah.
life, and you're proud of it.
I'm very proud of them and very proud of all of the whole group. The whole Italian American group in this community is outstanding. Really, really outstanding. For the size of the Italian population, they've had a great economic and cultural impact on the Southbridge community. And I'm very proud to be part of that.
Right. Can we talk a little bit about today's celebration? You must be pretty proud of the turnout today and the wonderful people that are here. And
Yes, I'm very proud, and it's nice to see that everybody feels so good about it. Let me introduce my sister here.
can we bring her over?
May I do that?
Sure, you sure can.
This is my little sister, one of those you see.
How are
in this
you,
show.
Joe?
You're
See you again.
being
Yes,
recorded now.
You're on
Really?
television. yeah?
Really?
Right. So,
We were talking about the family and how your mom and dad and everyone came over from Italy in the early years. It was tough growing up, not knowing the language, I would say.
My mother and father, yeah. But he could tell you more because he
I
came.
have already done that.
Yeah,
But I'll tell you, maybe they didn't know the language, but they sure knew how to count money, I'll bet.
oh,
huh?
that's right.
Oh, yeah, and they helped each other. This
Yeah.
is the great thing.
Families helped each other in those days.
Oh, certainly. You
My
know.
father was financing people from back in the old country, you know. Somebody needed some help. We never had any money, but he always seemed to come up with $300-400 to send over and
Yeah,
and
that's
bring them
true.
over.
Right.
And that happened to, well, the other night, Bettinelli boy.
Oh, yes.
You remember him? He married my aunt, his father did, and he went back to Italy with plenty of money, supposedly. But then the lira, the inflation, you know, made that money worth very little. He wanted to come back to America to start again, which he did, but he didn't have any money, so he had to borrow it. And my father loaned him the money.
Have either one of you been back to Italy?
Oh, both of us have at the same time.
I've been there at least
In
7
81.
times.
7 times.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
been there a
yeah,
year.
yeah. I've been there a lot of time.
But I've been only there
I
once.
used, to
But
set up, I used to set up my business trips when I became actively involved in international finance with American Optical. I used to set up my business trips in such a way so that I would have
Make a
Saturday,
detour
and, Saturday and Sunday free. You know?
That's great.
You know.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Well,
we really appreciate
thank
you
you,
taking
Joe.
the time, okay?
Yeah.
But
Good.
you know what I loved when I went back to Italy? My parents' little village. Oh, that was something else. We spent 5 days there. I loved it.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Okay,
we got
good.
a lot to be proud of.
Good, very good. Okay, we're talking with soon-to-be town councilor Joe Marino, who has been active in the community for many, many years. And Joe, you've been a part of today's celebration. How has it turned out so far?
Well, it turned out great. Good sunny day. The sun always shines on the Italians, and it's a good turnout. And very well pleased, and it's a good day for the community.
Now, everybody has a passport today. Does that mean everybody's Italian?
Everybody's Italian, right? Whoever
Let's-
comes through the gate.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your family, Joe. Did your mom and dad immigrate here from Italy?
Yes, they did, way back around 1918, and they came up from a little town in Tocco de Caseria, which a lot of people from Southbridge area are from that same area in Italy.
And you've been back there several times, I'm told.
I've been back there twice, and we plan on making many more trips.
Good. Tell us a little bit about life back there today, how it is today. Have they advanced quite a bit from the old days?
Yes, they did. I was back there in 1955 when I was in the service, and then I went back about 6-7 years ago, and there's a tremendous difference. And people are living better today, and it's better than what it was way back then.
Okay, I see that your sister's working here. You got some of your family
Yeah.
all pitching in, and some of the fellas here working. All of these fellas are donating their time today.
Everything is donated. The food is donated, and so everybody pitched in, and it's a success.
Good, and it sure does smell good too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Joe.
okay,
Have a
good.
nice day.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're talking to Ritchie Camilloni, who is a very, very well-known figure in the community. Ritchie has been very active in the Italian-American Associates. You've been the commander of the Italian-American Veterans. You've been active for for a very long time. And first of all, Ritchie, let's talk about just what you're doing here today.
Well, right at the present time, I'm getting my dough ready to make some pizzelle,
Okay.
which is an Italian a waffle pastry. You can use it as an ice cream sandwich. You can put filling in it. You help yourself.
Okay, and you're cracking a lot of eggs here first.
Well,
that's the base of it, the whole
that's
thing.
the eggs and flour are the bases of it.
Okay.
Right now, I'm getting a dozen eggs ready.
And what else do you put in it?
Sugar, olive oil. I mean, mazzarella oil and flour.
Okay.
And
How long have you been making these?
Oh God!
Years?
Don't ask me that.
Okay. Can we talk a little bit about your family, Ritchie? Now, did you immigrate here? Did you come over here, or were you born in the United States?
No, I was born in Southbridge.
How about your mom and
My
dad?
folks came over in 1911
And from what town?
from Palestrina, a town about the size of Southbridge, just 14 miles outside of Rome.
Yes, it's not quite in the upper regions, but probably in the central regions.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just, I think, if I remember right, it's west of Rome, about 14 miles.
Okay. Did you learn English as a boy? I mean, you spoke Italian in your house. Did you have a difficult time learning the language at all?
Not really, because of the fact that I mixed with the my
Other
neighbors
families
so
and
forth,
neighbors, yeah.
And
What part of Southbridge did you grow up in?
Mechanic Street.
Mechanic
as a matter of
Street,
fact,
huh?
yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, while I was there, there's quite a few French-speaking French Canadians,
Sure.
and at that time I was even able to speak French as well as I.
Oh, I've heard that story before too. That a lot of Italians learn to speak French by living in the neighborhoods. You know.
Unfortunately, right now it's I've forgotten that.
Yeah, right. Okay, why don't you keep on going here and show us how we're going to get a batter going here. We're talking to Ritzerio Camilloni, who is going to show us how he makes the pizzelle wafer-type cookies, and right now he's using the he's using the mixer to break up the eggs and sort of get everything going pretty good here. There are some samples on the table here, and people have been coming up and eating these. And like Ritchie said, they can also be used as a sandwich for ice cream. You know, you put ice cream and then put the cover on each side, and the pizzelle's a very, very delicious pastry, no question about it. Of course, it's heavy duty on the cholesterol, no question about it. These are not, cholesterol free. Okay, Ritchie says that they're made by him, so they're cholesterol free. Well, the batter has been mixed, and now he's about to put flour into the mix. Yeah, we're hoping you're getting a kick out of today's program. We're not even halfway around the Arts Center yet. We're still making our way around the various booths and the various activities. We have a lot of outstanding musicians that are soon to be playing, and it's just a beautiful, picture-perfect day. It couldn't be any more of a beautiful weather day. Blue skies up above, a nice sun, not too warm, just about right. Okay, and Ritchie is now mixing the batter. And you're getting a look at some of the people who are here talking, and we're looking at former Town Councilor Henry Santelli. Sure can. Go right around the camera. Right around the back, Nancy, and you're all set. Okay, Ritchie is now making the batter, doing very well at it. Okay, now let's see. Adding a little more flour. Ritchie, you're adding a little more flour, huh?
Right, yeah, it's a little too loose.
Okay. There are still quite a lot of Italian families that are making pizzelles in Southbridge, right?
Well, oh yes, they all do. As a matter of fact, it's going international now.
Yeah, right,
People, other races, other nationalities are doing it, and it's an easy biscuit to make, and it's very tasty. Everyone seems to like it.
You also make your own Italian sauce too?
Oh yes, oh yes. My own sauce, my own cacciatore. Necessity is invention of, and what is that saying about when necessity is the mother of invention?
Oh yes,
Well,
right.
there it is.
Okay, now the batter looks fairly smooth. Richie has done an excellent job on this. And now we see what's going to happen next. Imagine he's going to open up his little waffle iron that you've got heated up there.
Why'd you have to turn off all the
Okay, now he found his spoon, and I guess he's going to be putting the pizzelle into the waffle maker, and that unit is red hot.
I need a little more flour.
A little more flour into the concoction. We're talking with Rizzario Camelloni, whose mom and dad came over here from Italy. He was born here in Southbridge, went to school here. For many years was an optician in the community, and very well known, very well respected, president of the Italian American Associates, also president of the Italian American War Veterans down on North Street, and these fellas for years have been a very active and a very integral part of the community. Getting a look at some of the people who are standing by here. Okay, let's go to Ritzy now as he makes the pizzelle. And he's putting the batter on this hot griddle. Boy, didn't seem like you put much down. You don't have to put much down.
Doesn't take much.
Doesn't take much, he says.
Doesn't take much. I didn't realize there was one in there until after I opened it up.
Okay, Ritzy has now put the batter into the waffle maker.
Usually takes
You're going to take a bite of that and let us know what it's like?
I make a lot of these. I want to see. Don't put me on there, but don't shit.
How does it taste?
This takes about 30 seconds, 30, 40 seconds to... Some more sugar.
Can you hold one up for us? Yeah, there they are. Look at this,
They
huh?
look like.
Very good. Okay, Ritzy, thank you very much for the demonstration. To talk to you for a minute and tell us just who you are, where you're from.
Right.
And
We're from Worcester, Massachusetts. This is Freddie Cronin on the organ. Freddie's been with us for about 25 years. He started when he was a child prodigy. He was 12 years old when he started. Tony D'Angelo was from Worcester.
I'm the youngest one.
He's the youngest one in the group. He's 67 years old.
so that tells us how old you guys are.
I'm the next to the youngest. I'm 25.
Okay, now you fellas have been playing for years. What are you going to do for us today?
We're going to play a mixture of all kind of ethnic music.
Okay, good.
Primarily mostly Italian, because this is run by the Italian Club, which is located a few blocks away from here.
Okay, good. We're going to step aside and let you guys go to it.
Okay, thank you very
much.
Thank you.
Don't forget, our next performance is called Jack and the Beanstalk, and we'll be using marionettes to tell that story. So we hope to see all of you again at 2:30. Thanks for coming to see us at the end.
Okay, we're talking with Mr. and Mrs. John Chuck DiPaolo, and Chuck, nice to see you here today. You having a good time?
Excellent. This is going to be an annual event.
Well, I hope so. I think everybody's Italian today.
That's right. This is fantastic.
Right. Now, your mom and dad came over here from Italy through Ellis Island. Right. Do you remember how old they were at the time?
My father was 22.
22 years old, so they were very young.
St. Mary's Church, too.
They did. Yeah. And I'll bet they didn't talk much English when they came.
Not at all. He had to go to night school to get his citizenship, you know.
When you were young, did you talk Italian at home?
All the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But some of the people that grew up in the flat and on North Street in that area say that they not only spoke Italian, but they learned French too. Did you too?
I had some French in me, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Probably forgot a lot of that.
I forgot Italian too.
Right. How about yourself now? You were born here in town?
Born here.
All of the family?
Yeah.
So all the kids were born here in town?
A couple of them were born in Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your mom and dad, where were they from in Italy?
They were from Pasquo San Donesco. That's Abruzzi.
Right. And that's in about the northern central part?
Yeah, that's the province of Pescara.
Oh, Pescara.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And did you, growing up, were there any kind of Italian celebrations like this growing up?
Oh, yeah, many times. They had fireworks and the old Sons of Italy, you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember as a kid.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this because Chuck is a very well-known professional musician in his own right. He's been a drummer for many years, and I think you remember. I remember you telling me that as a youngster, right? As a youngster, didn't you start out with the Sons of Italy band?
No, I started out with a country western band.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
right?
P.C. Smokey,
right?
Del Rossi.
Yeah.
That's where I started.
Did you play with the Sons of Italy at all?
No, my brother did.
Your brother?
My brother did.
Right. Well, it was nice talking to you today. Chuck and his wife Bea are here with us, and among the hundreds of people who are enjoying the Taste of Italy celebration. Well, we're very happy to have with us Denise Cowden, who is the mastermind of this whole Taste of Italy celebration, and you don't have a trace of Italian blood.
No, I don't, but I feel Italian.
Right.
I love the Italian, so that makes it part of.
We want to tell you this is a great time today. Let's talk a little bit about how this all began and how you put it together.
Okay. Basically what happened is we were in the art center
and we were enjoying the DOD festivities a year and a half ago when we were originally trying to get the DOD in. And the community spirit was just magnificent. And we wanted that community spirit back again. So we said, how can we do that? Ethnic Day seemed to bring in a whole lot of enthusiasm, so that's what we did. And we did a little planning, and we sent out a few letters. And we said, well, we'll see what kind of response we get. So we sent out a few letters, and the response was magnificent. Sturbridge Travel called us right away. The Tri-Community Exchange Club, the Garden Club.
So long to go all around.
This is the
so
result.
It all came together.
Very fast. It came together quickly. Tremendous. I can take absolutely no credit. It was a support of every individual here.
Right. Now, who came up with the passport idea? That's a pretty clever idea.
Oh, well, we had a passport because we needed to cover some basic expenses. This is not a fundraising event.
Right.
And we did want to provide some things like the music that you're hearing, the puppeteers, and other things like that. So we knew we had to cover some basic printing expenses and those things. And so we decided a $3 minimal passport fee that would cover everything when you came in, from wine to cheese to cappuccino to lamb. I mean, whatever you want.
She's great.
It's here.
Now I'm going to ask you the question that...
She's beautiful.
Yes, she is. We're going to get El DePietro, who just stepped in, and we're going to get him on camera in a minute too. But here's a question everyone's been asking me is, are we going to do this again next year? And is it going to be an Italian festival? Or are you going to try to do other ethnic groups? Or do you want to talk about that first?
You know, I just want to enjoy this year.
Okay.
And get through today, and we'll see next year.
I'll tell you,
next year always comes.
These Italians are going to be very mad if they can't have another celebration.
This has been, you know, it's been wonderful. I've had people like Dick Gervasi who helped, and the Cottons, and I mean, the list is just endless. As I look around, I can't even tell you how many people have helped us.
Well, it's a great day, and you people should be congratulated. The Arts Center people should be congratulated for putting this all together.
For the community.
Okay,
that's
good.
all, just for the community.
We want to thank Denise Cowden for joining us today, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we're talking to two familiar faces here in the Italian-American community, Frank de Bonaventura and El DePietro. Frank, this is quite a day today, isn't it?
It sure is.
Right. Today everybody is Italian, they tell me?
Happy today.
Right, right. Now, Frank, you were born in this country, but how about your mother and father? They came over to Ellis Island?
My father came from Ellis Island, and so did my mother. And he comes from the Bruce, and my mother comes from Rome.
Aha, that's good.
Right.
And you were born here in the United States?
I was born here in Southbridge.
Yeah, okay. And you grew up here, and you became a successful businessman, and you're also probably one of the finest banjo players around, too. You're still playing a little bit?
I still play a little.
Yes, it's very, very good. We're going to talk to El here for just a minute. El, your parents came from the same neighborhood as Frank's, too,
Yes,
huh?
they come from where Frank came from, and I'm kind of mixed up which towns they are,
yes,
but all I know is...
Well, it's in the central northern part of Italy, midway? In the southern part. Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
Out of the
mountains, right. And El, now your parents came over here, and how about your family? They were all born here.
Well, all the kids were born here. There's 5 boys, 1 girl.
Yeah.
And all living except my mother and father passed away, and
Maybe the Blessed Mother helped you with that.
American who came up through the generations and started your own business, worked hard today, and a very successful business. Is it a lot different today than it was years ago?
I wouldn't want to try to start it today. That was 30 years ago. It was hard work then, and today it would be a lot harder. But it was, I was happy doing it, and now my son is taking over, and he's doing a hell of a job. And he has 4 children already. He's got 3 grandsons that take over the other company we started, 3D Enterprise.
Up flagpoles, doing all of this work behind the scenes that you don't want credit for. You're always in the background. How do you feel about that? You must love this town, don't you?
I do love the town, and everything I get involved in, we try to do a good job with it. Like they says, what are we going to do with the fence? So we got the fence from Cohasset, and my men put the fence all up there, and we stick up these little tents that we've got here every time something goes on. But it's fun if it. You can help out things like this here. What happens is none of it doesn't get done, you know?
That's right. That's right.
We're happy to do it.
You think it might be another one next year? Everybody's asking me that question.
Yeah, I guess there will be another one next year with the turnout they had today.
right.
Of course, the weather brought it.
Yeah, it was really great.
It's beautiful with the weather. But I think it's a very beautiful day, and it's a good, fun day.
Beautiful. Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
He had no choice now. Get in there.
Thank you very much, but I just don't want to.
Okay, we're talking with Morris Capistran, our old friend, one of the town's familiar faces. And Morris, this is quite a day today. Today seems like the whole community's turned out for this event. Huh?
Beautiful day, and I think everybody's having a wonderful time here.
And you know, the question that we're being asked is, are they going to do it again next year? Would you like to see something like this next
I think they should continue this. I think it's something that the town will enjoy every year.
Well, you know, everybody knows that you're the town's renowned expert on the Boston Red Sox, and we wanted to get you on camera to tell us, where do you think they're going to finish this year?
Or maybe second place.
Second place. You don't think they'll win it,
I think Baltimore's going to take it all.
I think Baltimore. Now, you heard it, folks. Morris Capistran's telling you that Baltimore is going to beat Boston for the American League East. So. Yeah. Okay, we're looking at the Ricky generation right here, and right here, look at this sweatshirt, Italy. Do you have any marks there as where your family came from, Ray?
Pescara, Pescara.
Down here, I think, Joe.
Joe, I'd like you to notice it says Moderno and Antico. In other words, Italy today is modern, it's antique.
So you got the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Okay.
Everybody should go there, even though I haven't been there yet. I hope to someday.
I hope you plan to. How about you, Matty? What do you?
Joe, it's a pleasure to be here with you today in this Italian day, and I'm proud to be an American, but I'm also proud to be an Italian.
Right.
With me is my nephew, Jason.
This is fantastic. Yeah, good group of people here today. Excellent.
Wonderful. What a great crowd. What a wonderful crowd. This is the greatest
food
thing
is great,
that's
Joe.
happened.
Have you tried any yet?
No, not yet, but we are once we get off the air. But let's talk a little bit about.
Actually, Joe.
I'd better not. Not better.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Okay. I get the message. Listen, let's talk a little bit about your family now. They both immigrated from Italy?
Yes, they did.
All of you kids were born in this country.
We were all born here. We were born on Moon Street.
On Moon Street.
Excuse me, I was conceived on a boat over.
Oh, that's right.
I was born, I think, 3 months after they hit America. So evidently, no, maybe 6 months after.
Right.
So I'm sure I was conceived on a boat, Joe.
Did they come across at Ellis Island?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Did you ever hear family stories about the crossing and how long it took? And some say that they stopped at Gibraltar on the way, and the trip took 15, 20 days, and they got sick.
Actually, my dad came over and scouted the territory beforehand with Mr. Ciuccatelli. And then he decided to go back. He liked the area, so he decided to go back to Italy to pick up my mom. Okay?
A piece of bread. Don't not taste Proust just because he's a Frenchman, you know. No. He's got a great sauce. I want to taste this one.
That's the Oreo. It's a little more spicy.
I really worked hard, so this must be a special day today.
It is, Joe, and it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Good. I'm glad to hear
I'm dying in this sweatshirt, but I'm going to wear it. I don't care if it gets to be 100 degrees. I'm going to keep it on till it's time to leave.
Okay, good.
Nice talking to you.
Arrivederci. Well, we're talking with my very, very good friend, Amerigo Fantaroni, who has been telling us stories about when you first came over here from Italy.
Yes.
How old were you when you came in?
17 years old.
17 years old, and
don't speak English. One word of English. Nothing.
Really, nothing at all. Now, tell me, was it hard in those days not being able to speak the language?
Oh, hard. It was awful.
It was, huh?
Oh yeah, you couldn't find no. You know, you go someplace and ask for a job, and just like, please give me a job. Please give me a job. Oh, that was awful.
Right. Now, did you have any friends here, Italian friends that helped you get started?
Yes, I had my aunt in Mansfield, Mass.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ceccarelli, yeah.
And now you came and you went to work at American Optical. You had a long career there. How many years?
Yes, yeah, well, 45 years.
45 years?
40
years.
40 years, yeah.
40 years at American Optical Company.
I worked Southbridge Finishing Company for 4 years. And then then I went down to Yale.
Right. Rico, how about your parents? What province were they from, or what town?
Province of Rome.
From Rome.
Provincia di Roma.
Aha. So they were right outside of Rome, really? Not right in the
about
city.
12 miles from Rome.
12 miles from Rome. Have you been back there several times? Huh?
Yes, 10 years ago.
Right. Now,
everything has changed. So.
Right. Didn't you serve in the Italian army there?
No.
Did you?
No, I get here just before the draft.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember when I went to see the American consul in Rome.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey, you better go. We better make the papers right away because Mussolini's going to get you." He said, "Don't you like Mussolini?" I said, "No." Well, he was an American consul, you know.
Oh,
he
yes,
was so glad.
right.
He says, we'll ship you right away. Don't worry.
Oh, that is great.
So
That is great.
They belong to me.
Now you're retired and you're feeling good these days. You look great. You look great. You're feeling okay?
Yeah, well, sometimes, yes,
Yeah?
but sometimes I get my days, you know.
Yeah, well, we're all together in that. That's true. Well, it was nice talking to you, Rico.
Well, same here.
Yep,
Yes,
keep up the good work, huh? Okay. Hi, how are you? All right, we're in the heart of the operation here in the Art Center building, and you can see that these ladies are busy and hard at work making all these Italian delicacies, including pasta, homemade pasta. And I'm going to introduce Clara Santullo, who is going to tell us a little bit about what they're doing here today. Clara?
Okay, right now we're making homemade tortellinis. And the dough, I just made the dough a little while ago. And there's Rita. Actually, she's the president of St. Rita Society. And she's teaching everyone how to make homemade pasta by hand, which is hand rolled, and then it's dried and it's cut.
Okay.
And,
let's talk to Rita for a second. And Rita, just how are you going about doing this here?
Okay, we're rolling the dough flat, making a circle, and then we fold it. This is it flat, and then we roll it.
I see.
Really, we're folding it, and then we cut it at an angle to make it thin slices. And this is the final.
And that's how it comes out, like this, huh? Great, good job. Okay. Okay, Clara, what else we got going here?
Okay, right now I'll demonstrate how we make tortellini. And this is Dina, and she has been making pasta with the chitarra. It's called chitarra because it's like a guitar. And what they do is they cut the pasta and they lay it here, and then they just roll it down with this rolling pin.
All right. Is she going to demonstrate it now?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us what you're doing.
I'm putting it on this little guitar here, and I'm rolling it. And it's going to fall through, and there you get your... This is the way they used to make it in the olden days.
See that? Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Now the chitarra was brought from Italy, and I believe 1971, Clara Iacobucci went to Italy and she brought it. And now this is homemade tortellinis.
Right.
And what we do is we just cut the pasta around like this, and we put a little bit of ricotta on it, and then we fold it like this. It's like a half moon, and then you just take it and you roll it. You put a little bit of water so it seals.
Can you hold that up for us?
Sure. And this is a tortellini.
That's the finished product right there, right. Now, Clara, can we talk a little bit about your family? Did they both immigrate from Italy?
Yes, they did. My mother and father both came from Italy.
And how about all of the kids were born here? You were born in this country?
Yes, we were born here in this country.
Do you know if they landed at Ellis Island? Did they go to Ellis Island?
My father did. My father did. My mother landed in New York, in the harbor in New York.
And what province were they from?
They were from Calabria.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes. This
Very
is
good.
southern part of Italy.
Right. And this is a wonderful time today. This is quite an event.
It's a wonderful day. We're having a great time, and there's a lot of people are enjoying themselves very much. Yes. And also, I'd like to introduce Dina.
Okay. Can she explain what she's doing?
I take a piece of dough and then I put it on the thickest part. Then as I do it, I'll put it on maybe 4, and then I'll put it on the 3rd, and then it's ready to be cut.
Very good, very good. Okay. Now the
tortellinis.
Oh, you can set it for another gauge.
The thinnest, yeah, for the thinnest part, and then I'll cut it this way.
So we have a little assembly line going
Oh,
here.
yes,
really,
we
huh?
certainly have.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
I would like to introduce Clara Yakabuchi.
Okay.
And she's
We're gonna-
our spokesman, actually.
Okay, can we move her around? We're going to talk to Clara Yakabuchi. They tell us that you're the brains of this organization, Clara.
Really, my workers have the brawn, believe me,
Right.
and they've been terrific. And I think the biggest thrill of all is not one of them knew how to make tortellinis.
Really?
I showed them how, and they're dishing them out faster than you could believe.
Do you have to boss them around, or are they pretty good?
Oh, no, they're great. And if you stick around, we're going to sing a song for you. Because the joy is in the heart, believe me.
Now, Clara, tell me, today is such a great time.
It is.
Everybody seems to be Italian today, don't you think?
Yes, we are, and it's just like St. Patrick's Day. I'm very Irish. I cook green spaghetti with a green sauce.
Very good.
It's really something.
Good. Okay, Clara Yakabuchi. Thank you, ladies. That was a great tour. We're very happy. You're going to be watching this on, don't forget to watch Joe's Place on Thursday night, huh? All right, we're in the foyer of the Art Center building, and on display are numerous photographs of some of the Italian-American families in this area, and you're looking at one right now that's pretty familiar to me because it's a photograph of my family, at one time known as the largest family in Massachusetts. There were a total of 18 children in the family, and in the large portrait of the family, I'm not even in there because I wasn't even born at the time. I was born in 1929, and when I came along, that's when we set the record as the largest family. So that's the Capillo family from Gloucester, Massachusetts. And now we're panning over, we're looking at the Pete Salviolo family, and there's an old-time photograph if I ever saw one. Those photographs were usually taken in the photographic studios, and they were shot on 8x10 glass plate cameras, and everybody had to make sure that they didn't move. So that is why you see that the mother is sitting with the baby, and it seems like every child is leaning against a chair or against one another, and that's so that the photographer could take the photograph without getting a blur of any kind. We're looking at the Italian-American Citizens Club photograph from Lenti's restaurant in Wales. That picture was taken circa 1936. That means around that time. And there are the names of everybody who was in the picture. And you're looking at Mr. and Mrs. Fred Verner's family with two of their children, Tony and Jean, and the Gervasi family. And you're looking at the two baby doctors who are practicing in town, Robert Giordano and Donald Gentili. And we're pointing to Josephine Caprera. Richard Gervasi is age 4, above in that picture. So you can see it's just a wonderful display of photographs. I wonder if we can get a shot here, J.I., of the Sons of Italy, the Oberdan Lodge Band. Now, the Oberdan Lodge was an Italian-American organization that was part of Sons of Italy for many, many years, and the Sons of Italy Band has been known around these parts. People still today talk about what an outstanding group of musicians were part of the Sons of Italy Band. So that's just a little bit of a look at some of the photographs, some of the images that are on display here at the Art Center. Well, we're very happy to talk to Mary Paracchio, who is one of the committee members for today's Taste of Italy celebration. Mary, this must be a great day for you. You must be very happy with the turnout.
We're very happy, and we're glad the weather cooperated. And I was in charge of the pictures, Joe, and I was very happy to get a picture of the Capillo family. There were only 17 at that time.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, I also got nice cooperation from the Italian family.
Good to see you. Hey, John. I know George Pooh. I know where he got that from. I know the kids that made it for him. I was talking to her the other night. She goes to school with my daughter. He's just trying to get votes for us. We used to play that a lot. Nice sport. I enjoy it. I say it's a lot.
What a great job the Art Center people did on this.
Oh, yes, we're
and I was on it as an advisor. And I said to Denise, I don't think I'll be able to go to too many meetings because I'm busy with other responsibilities at home.
Hembra come te, non c'è visse per l'ora.
Oh, that's great, that's great.
In fact, Lauren Giglione had a notice in the newspaper to think of a new slogan for Southbridge. So I said to myself, I'll think of one. And I said, out of the breakdown lane, into the fast lane, up with Southbridge.
That's great.
I've lived in Southbridge all my life, and I'm proud of it, and my husband is also. And we want Southbridge to be on the mend and to rise up again.
Well, that's a great community spirit, and we thank you very much.
Happy to be here, Joe.
Well, we hope you're having a good time here at the Taste of Italy celebration. This has been a marvelous day for the Southbridge community, and the celebration really burst the confines of the Art Center building and the Art Center barn, and it spilled out over the lawn as well as inside, and everyone's having a good time, including the youngsters who are listening to the music, and we have Italian music playing in the background. There's been Italian craftsmanship, an opportunity to watch pasta making inside, as we showed you with Clara Iacobucci and her staff, and people making espresso coffee. We see a lot of people sampling pastries. They're voting on the best tomato sauce made by Italian men, and we've had the Venetian Trio entertaining. It's just been a great day. In addition, there's been displays of all kinds of Italian handicrafts and photographs. It's just been an Italian celebration that this community is going to remember for some time. We're very happy you could join us today, and as we said, Joe's Place goes on the road every once in a while, and this is one of the days that we do. We're happy to have with us our two cameramen today, J.R. Rosser and Harry Ambach. They're part of the Cable 11 crew. And as we've mentioned in the past, Cable 11 is an all-volunteer organization. All of these people donate their time and their efforts to come out and produce and direct and stage these video presentations for you without asking any remuneration at all, just for the sake of enjoying to be part of the community. So we're glad you could join us on Joe's Place today. Hope you had a good time, and we'll catch you people the next time around.